Interesting night tonight in playoff hockey. Neither tonight's games were close. I thought the Devils game would be. I mean, it looked good 1-1 after one. Then the Hurricanes made it rain with 5 goals in the second, 4 of them being scored in a span of 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Because I was just watching, and it was like with each minute, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. What was happening? And now that I think about it, I again ask, why couldn't the Rangers do this? Why couldn't the Rangers do this? It makes me look stupid because I kept putting the Rangers on a pedestal. I put the Rangers on a pedestal, and they fizzled out against Akira Schmid, but the Hurricanes beat it like it was nothing. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, 5 goals in the second period, and it's a 6-1 win for Carolina, and now they're in the driver's seat. It's a 3-1 series lead, and this win comes after they were dismantled in Game 3. In a game that saw New Jersey put up 8, but Carolina scored 3 shorties. That was Game 3. And of course, they took care of business in Game 4 tonight. So, yeah. So, and of course, Seattle looked like it was going to be close, and then Dallas started to run away with it. Kraken made it a bit close at the end, but it wasn't enough. So, Dallas took care of business tonight against the Kraken, and now that series is even. So we have an interesting affair here. So after the first 2 Game 4s, the Devils are on the brink of elimination, and we have a tight one between Dallas and Seattle. It is 2-2, meaning it's now a best of 3, and Dallas has the home ice. They'll be at home for Game. They'll be at home for Game 5 and a possible Game 7. But the road teams have been winning a lot this year's playoffs, so anything's possible. So we'll see what develops. So I'll have to look into this, but the NHL announced their they had two more award announcements. It got finalists for I think it's the Masterton and the Masterton and the King Clancy. Well, King Clancy is a player for I think it's a 32 team. They take one player from each of the 32 teams with the King Clancy, and it's presented, quote, to the player who best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice, has made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution to his community, end quote. PK Subban won this award. But yeah, but they take one player from each of the 32 teams, and here they are in alphabetical order by team. For the Anaheim Ducks, it's Keith Shattenkirk. Arizona Coyotes, it's Travis Boyd. Boston Bruins, it's Patrice Bergeron. For Buffalo Sabres, it's Alex Tuch. For the Calgary Flames, it's Michael Backlund. For the Carolina Hurricanes, it's Jordan Staal. For the Chicago Blackhawks, it's Connor Murphy. For the Colorado Avalanche, it's Devon Tays. For the Columbus Blue Jackets, it's Zach Werenski. I think he's been out all season, which sucks because he's a pretty good player. For Dallas Stars, of course, their main star, Jason Robertson. For the Detroit Red Wings, it's Dylan Larkin, who's on my fancy wish list for next year. So is Jason Robinson, for that matter. For the Edmonton Oilers, it's Darnell Nurse. For the Florida Panthers, it's Alexander Barkov. For the LA Kings, it's Mikey Anderson. It's Matt Dumber for the Minnesota Wild. It's Jordan Harris for the Montreal Canadiens. For the Nashville Predators, it's their star goaltender, UC Saros. For the New Jersey Devils, it's Jack Hughes. For the New York Islanders, it's Anders Lee. For the New York Rangers, it's Jacob Trouba. Well, that's a good one. For the Ottawa Senators, it's Brady Tkachuk. For the Philadelphia Flyers, it's Scott Laughton. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, it's Evgeny Malkin. For the San Jose Sharks, it's Luke Cunnin. For the Seattle Kraken, it's Chris Drieger, backup goaltender. Actually, he's third string. I think it's Grubauer, then Jones, then Drieger. For the St. Louis Blues, it's Braden Shen. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's Mr. Norris candidate himself, but not this year. But he's always a Norris. He goes hand in hand with the Norris, Victor Hedman. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, another good defenseman, Morgan Riley. For the Vancouver Canucks, Elias Pettersson, also on my fantasy wish list for next year. For the Vegas Golden Knights, it's Riley Smith. For Washington Capitals, it's Tom Wilson, another interesting one. And finally, for the Winnipeg Jets, it's Blake Wheeler. So it's from each of it's a nominee from each of the 32 teams. They also announced the finalists for the Masterton, which is for Perseverance. Of course, we know it's best exemplified qualities: perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. But it's mainly about perseverance. And the three finalists are Clayton Keller, one of my favorite players from the Coyotes. Chris Letang, part of that core for the Penguins. It's him, Malkin, and of course Sidney Crosby, and Alex Stalock for the Blackhawks, goaltender. Pretty good nominees. I kind of hope Letang wins it because he's kind of been through quite a bit this season. Of course, he had another stroke that he was dealing with, and he lost his father during this season. But he's been playing through the personal tragedies and obstacles, and he's a mainstay with the Penguins. Like I said, he's part of that core. He's part of that core with Crosby and Malkin. He was there for all three of those cups in 09, 16, and 17. And he's going to retire Penguin, it looks like. But, yeah, so those are the award announcements, and that's my recap of tonight's action. And tomorrow, ooh boy, tomorrow we got the other two Game 4s, and the first one is an important one. It's Game 4 between the Maple Leafs and the Panthers at Sunrise. And the Panthers look to complete the sweep and reach the Eastern Conference Final for the first time since 1996. While Toronto looks to win Game 4, break the brooms, and hope they can pull off a reverse sweep. It all starts with winning Game 4. Of course, after that, it's Game 4 in the Pacific between the Golden Knights and the Oilers in Edmonton. Vegas leads that series 2-1 because both teams traded 5-1 victories in games 2 and 3. That's tomorrow night. Of course, Thursday night is another elimination game. This time in Raleigh. It's Game 5 in the Metro between the Hurricanes and Devils. Canes lead 3-1, and they look to reach the conference final. It will be their second trip there in I think it's 5 years. Or 4. I think it's the second trip in 5 years because they last made it in the 18-19 season, and that was part of that long run that saw them eliminate the Capitals and sweep the Islanders. So yeah, Carolina's looking to become part of the Final Four. And, of course, Game 5 between the Stars and Kraken back in Dallas in the Central will take place Thursday night, and that series is even at 2-2. So that's my recap of tonight's action. If you like this video, click the like button. Click subscribe if you want more. I'll be back tomorrow night to recap the other Game 4s, hopefully with good news for the Leafs. So stay tuned.